Hello. Today I want to show you guys a video of a psychologist from Harvard. But before I show you his video, I want to go over two things that he talks about, two realities. One of the things he was going to talk about is heroes. And we all have heroes. And most of our heroes know that they are not heroes. And most of our heroes say something like, don't idolize me because I'm not perfect. Do what I say, don't be just like me because I have my own flaw. Buddha is one of these who says, do what I say, but don't be me necessarily. Follow my eightfold path. Socrates is another person from history who was wonderful, and we call him the father of philosophy. But Socrates would never say, be me. He would say, follow the truth. Be honest. And one of the things Charles Barkley, as a basketball player, used to always say is, don't make me a role model. I'm not a role model.
I am not a role model.
What color is goodness? How much does it weigh? How tall is it? But goodness is something that we talk about all the time. And we know goodness. We experience goodness. And we experience the lack of goodness. And these two things, heroes and goodness, are these two things that we experience, and we live our life in correlation with these ideas all the time. I mean, today, most of the thoughts that go through your mind aren't about how heavy something is. It's about how good something is. And most of the time when you talk to somebody else, what you want them to say back is, hey, that's great, or that's awesome. I have 3 little boys, and they're all playing with Legos right now, and they all come running to me saying, look at this, Daddy. And what they want me to say is, that weighs 2 pounds. No, of course not. What they want me to say is, that's great, that's good. You did a good job making that. Now, this following video is just a minute, but this is a psychologist who's talking to a Christian. The man with the beard is a Christian, and the psychologist is debating what to do with Jesus.
There's a historical representation of his existence as well. Now, you can debate whether or not that's genuine. You can debate about whether or not he actually lived and whether there's credible objective evidence for that, but it doesn't matter in some sense because this, well, it does, but there's a sense in which it doesn't matter because there's still a historical story. And so what you have in the figure of Christ is an actual person who actually lived plus a myth. And in some sense, Christ is the union of those two things. The problem is I probably believe that, but I don't know. I'm amazed at my own belief and I don't understand it. Like, because I've seen sometimes the objective world and the narrative world touch. You know, that's Jungian synchronicity. Yeah. And I've seen that many times in my own life. And so in some sense, I believe it's undeniable. You know, we have a narrative sense of the world. For me, that's been the world of morality. That's the world that tells us how to act. It's real. Like, we treat it like it's real. It's not the objective world. But the narrative and the objective world touch. And the ultimate example of that, in principle, is supposed to be Christ. But I don't know what to, that seems to me oddly plausible.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what to make of it. It's partly because it's too terrifying a reality to fully believe. I don't even know what would happen to you if you fully believed it.
I love that video. Do you see what Jordan Peterson's saying, the psychologist? He's saying, I believe in this concept of hero or myth. I know it's important, and I know that every hero knows that the idea of them is more important than them, except for Jesus. There's something different about Jesus. He doesn't say, just do what I say. He says, I am the truth. And at the same time, there's this other piece that's goodness that we experience all the time. And Jesus says, he is the coming together of those two things. What is true is Jesus says, I am the one. I am God. Don't just do what I say. Be me. Follow me. It's me. I mean, Jesus' claim is radically different. And we take that claim and we take this concept that we're constantly contemplating, thinking about, experiencing things that are good and bad. And that's real, but the idea of the hero, the idea of the myth is real. And Jesus says they come together right here. Nobody else says that.